Okay, here we go. So hello everyone. I am back again. This is day 34, I believe. I think it's 34. Day 34. You lose track of my juicing journey. So I have still been doing my celery juice, my wheatgrass juice today. I have to say how I've been feeling, and this is one of the things that my last video I talked about is, excuse me, my voice, I'm losing it. It's allergies, so sorry. But you know, how your life is affecting you affects how you do. So, my life has been okay. It's just, you have your moments. So it's been in a moment. But for the most part, I still been keeping up with my habits. So my habit has been juicing. I've been keeping up with it. And that's what we've been doing. And as you can tell from my other videos on Instagram and stuff, I've been out and about, and I have been able to keep my regimen in place. So I like that. And when I can't get to juice home, I go to my favorite place, Juices Wild. You see my videos, and if you haven't seen them, go check them out. If you're in the Beaufort area, come check them out. Get your juice, get your smoothie. Very knowledgeable. Different products you need or you can have for your health, supplements, and he knows what he's talking about. So one of the good things that he has is this thing called Master Tonic, which is really good. I spoke about it before, and I might do a little something about it eventually. So he's very knowledgeable. So please check him out. He's on Instagram at Go Juices Wild on Instagram. So my Instagram followers, that's where you can follow him. For everybody else, that's where you can follow him. Juices Wild, Go Juices Wild on Instagram. Check him out. Okay, so today we are going to talk about collard greens. Now, as you can see, I have fresh collard greens here. Fresh. Not in a pot. Ain't no pork, ain't no turkey. It's straight up collard greens. So one of the things that I told people about before in my other videos is that, and you can catch my other videos on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube at Holistic Pathways, type in Holistic Pathways, I believe, and you can find me, or just find it, thing. And I probably got to start using the hashtags, and I'll get to that. But anyway, you can look it up on my other videos. You have to rotate your greens. You can't keep eating the same greens all the time. And we do that. Why? Because they're popular. Everybody knows popular about spinach. Everybody knows about kale. Everybody knows about what's the other greens that people tend to. It's usually spinach and kale, and there's something else that people put in there. And that's what they drink all the time, which is really not good. You really need to rotate your greens. And there's plenty of greens out there you can rotate too. You have your turnip greens, your collard greens, your beet greens, your mustard greens, and they all have different flavors and they all have different benefits. So the good thing about collard greens, it's a very nutritious green. It's in the same family as kale, and it's the same family as broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cabbage and bok choy. Those kind of vegetables, they're all in the same family. And it's very high in vitamin K, and it helps with vitamin C and calcium, even though it does have calcium in it too. It has the vitamin C in there also, but it's very high in vitamin K. And vitamin K is important because it helps absorb the calcium that we need for our bones. So as me as a woman who's, in her 40s, definitely need to make sure that my bone health is on point. Because as women, we lose a lot of that going in, and we don't replenish because we really don't think about it, and we don't realize that even though we think we're getting a whole bunch of vitamin C and calcium, or really mostly calcium, we think we're getting all this calcium that we may not be getting, but we're missing. And even if we are, we're not absorbing it because we don't have the other nutrients, the other vitamins we need. All this is synergetic. It's not just one thing. It's not just one vitamin we need. We need a vitamin in conjunction with other vitamins, because in nature, they all work together. So if they work together in nature, they work together in our bodies also. So high in vitamin K, high in vitamin A, which is good for our skin, our nails, our eyes. These things we need for that purpose. And so it's a good way of getting that in our greens, especially with the collard greens. It's high in choline. Choline helps with depression. It can help with depression. It helps It helps with digestion. Well, choline helps with digestion, but collards help with digestion. But collards is very high in choline and folate. It can help prevent certain cancers at different stages. Which, by the way, which is why sometimes we talk about are we overcooking or are we even cooking our stuff? Because if we overcook our stuff, we can lose a lot of the nutrients. And that's one of collard greens happens to be one of the things that if we're cooked, it's not all of it, but one of them, that if we cook it, the benefits of it lessen. So you want to be sure. That's why even though you make cooking greens, also juice them or eat them raw to make sure you're getting the full variant of that. So one thing I found out that was interesting is about green vegetables. So this is summer season. We're all going out. Now that we're opening up more, we're going out. We're barbecuing. We're grilling meat. We're grilling stuff at these high temperatures. But did you know that chlorophyll and that all that high grilling has a carcinogenic effect on our food? But did you know that when we eat our greens and we eat our collard greens and any greens, as a matter of fact, because of the chlorophyll in them, it helps prevent that? Who knew? So when you go to your next barbecue and you got that big old thing on the grill at high temperatures, make sure have that salad. Make sure it's a green salad too. Have a nice green salad. Eat those collard greens because you know you go to somebody's barbecue. Nobody got collard greens. Eat them. Any of the things that have chlorophyll is really going to be helpful when you're eating things that are on a barbecue grill. So if you're going to bring something that you want to help everybody when you go to your next barbecue, bring something green for them to have also. It helps with diabetes. I want to say digestion. It helps with our mood. That's the part of the choline, I think. Helps with our sleep and our mood and depression. So this little thing has so much benefit for us. And it's easy to do. It's easy to do. You can cook it. Of course, you want, like I always say, if you cook it, don't cook it too much because you cook it, all the nutrients out of it, you can. But you can also have it with natural form, which is juiced or eaten raw. Another good thing I like to do, I love these big leaves. You fill it up with some veggies and make wraps. You always use lettuce, but how about using a collard green? Just take one, put it in, and have your little green sushi, wrap it up, chop it up. Good food, good meal. I like to do it with some marinated mushrooms, carrots, maybe some pickled red onion or pickled yellow onion, pickled sweet onion. You can really stuff it with anything. You can do, like sometimes you have those little long mushrooms. You could do it with that. Anything that you can. You can also do it with meat. Hey, if you eat meat, I eat meat on occasion. If you eat some meat, you could put some meat in there too, and have it in a nice little wrap. And I like it because, like I said, look how big these leaves are. They're so big and great to do that with. So we're going to make the quick juice this time, as time permits. We're going to make quick juice. Now, another reason why I like this juicer. It is a slower juicer versus other standing juicers, and the good thing about that is if you can't drink all your juice at one time, this is slow enough that you can save it for later and not lose a whole lot of nutrients. Now, of course, it's not as good as the cube that I usually have out here, or Nutrition Center, because that is really slow. But the same people who make this. And one of the selling points of this is that you can make a decent amount of juice so you can get it done in the morning and have it for later. I tend to do it, if I do it like this, I make sure I put it in a nice airtight, thoroughly cleaned, sanitized, like you would do if you can or anything like that. Airtight, mason jar. Screw it on, put it in your refrigerator. You can always take it out, and use it again. So today, our juice is just a regular green, really green, packed green juice. And we have our collards, we have our purple carrots, we have an apple, we have a golden beet, and we have cucumber. And that is what we're going to make with that. Oh, and I also have a little leftover spinach blend. So if you have a little leftover spinach and stuff, you can always toss it in there. I love Organic Girl. I just like her stuff. One of the ones I really like, she has the superfood one, and it has pea shoots in it. Oh my God, that is so good, and it's so tasty in a salad. So you can get that little micro pea shoots in there, as well as you get like the superfoods, kale, and baby spinach, and all that good stuff. So organic girl, and you can find her at Sprouts and Whole Foods and your local Kroger and your local Publix. They have them. They don't have the variety that those other two may have, but they still have her stuff, and I really like it. It's good. She also makes a salad dressing too that you can have. It's very natural and raw and stuff. So if you like them, try them. So that's what we're doing today. This is going to go quick, but it's going to be a little loud because this is not as quiet as the other one. But we're going to work on it anyway. So we're going to turn it to a good fast mode. As you can see, let me turn around so I can look at it. It's on fast. You don't necessarily have to boost it because these are kind of like not too hard. But luckily this came, if you don't know and you're wondering, especially if you're new to juicing, it comes with the speed that you can use it. So this comes with that. So depending on what you have. So if you have something that may need a boost, you could figure it out. If you have something that's just fast, you can figure it out. If you have something that's a little slower, you can figure it out. So it takes the guesswork on what you got to blend this on to blend your food. And it came with this particular Gravel blender. I got this Gravel blender at Williams-Sonoma. Love that store. Stay in that store. It's the store. It's the best store for me, especially when you're cooking. And I love to cook. I love to get gadgets, and there are good gadgets in cooking store. And they got all kinds of stuff that you can have. Spices, seasonings, everything. So that's what we have. So first we're going to start off with our collard greens. Now, you're going to notice you're not going to get a lot of juice out of it. I'm going to tell you that right now. But you can smell the freshness. I'll tell you that. It smells really good and fresh. The good thing about a big mouth juicer, everything gets in there fairly quickly. So you don't have to it doesn't take as long as the other one. So you can pretty much throw a whole thing in there if it's big enough. Throw the whole thing. The whole thing. Don't cutting. Just, okay? You can smell. This smells so good and fresh. Oh my God. I cannot wait to taste it and eat it. That cucumber really gave it a kind of a refreshing smell. We'll throw that apple in there. Now, if you are watching your sugar, please make sure you watch how much sweet fruit and vegetables you stick in there, because it can spike. So carrots are on the sweeter side. Apples are on the sweeter side. So be careful how much you put in there, because it can have an effect on your blood sugar. It's still good for you, but yeah, you still have that a problem. So be careful. And as you always know, I am not a doctor or anything like that. Before you even start a juicing thing or anything, make sure you go to your doctor and make sure you can do it. Make sure you find out, is there anything that you can or cannot have? Because I'm doing what's good for me, because it's me, but you got to make sure you do what's good for you. And your doctor can help you do that. So we are almost finished here with this. I got the rest of my little greens in here. You know, and sometimes you make that salad and you don't get all that salad. But you don't want it to go bad, stick it in there. All right. See how quick that went? 1, 2, 3. And we turn it off. Now for this, I tend to also you may need to do a little, let me do it this way. Sometimes you may need to do a little turn to the side, because there still could be juice floating around in there. If you want to get all that goodness, all the goodness you can get, out of it. So it didn't make a whole lot of juice, really, but it made enough. This is about 25, 22 ounces of juice in here. And you know you have the foam. I'm not a big fan of the foam. Some people love the foam. I'm not one of them. So I always tend to strain and drain because I don't like that foamy part. But that's how much juice I got, all those good vegetables. So I always end with this. This is not for everybody all the time. This is something that you definitely can work up to. But when you're first starting, you may not want to know how or want to have to do all this work. So that's why I always recommend, because I love it, Juice Plus. Because it does that. It gives you all that goodness of this right here in 8 pills a day. 8 pills a day, including your omegas. I don't have an omega in here at all. So once I take this, I also get my daily omegas, and my colors. You saw I had a bunch of colors up here. You must have colors. Colors make a difference in your vegetables. You get your colors, and look, I even axed it out. So these are the things that Juice Plus have that I did. Now, of course, they don't have collards in here, but since collards are part of the broccoli and kale family, I X'd it out because it's in that family. So you get a representation of that. We had apple in there, but look at all I missed out on today. I got an apple. I got beets. I had beets. I had something in the broccoli and kale family. I had elderberry, which I'm going to add. So I have to add something else to get the elderberry in this when this already has it. Okay. It also has ginger and cardamom and spices. It's sea moss, another good product that I get at Juices Wild. You can get it plain, but this one has elderberry. It's very good, wild crafted, small business. So we always need to support our small businesses because they really, really are they really, really help us and we help them. It's a very synergetic thing versus going to a big corporate, big place, and it's like, yeah, you're just one of the thousands. Here, when you start with a small business, it's really a personal experience for them. You're helping someone put their kid through something, soccer, like my kids in soccer, put their kid through soccer. You're helping someone have a better way of life, and they're bringing you their creativity and their things. So please, always try, if you can, support your local small business. And we have plenty of them in our counties. And a lot of them didn't make it through COVID, but those who did, we can really support and make sure that they stay. So that's my soapbox for today. So that's the thing. So that's what the difference is with this. So you see, I got some things out of it, but with this, I get all of this out of it. This is almost 30 things of fruits and vegetables that I can get at a time. And they are all juiced like this and dried. So they're also raw. They're also not, low processed. I want to say raw, but I'm not going to be sure. Don't get me the line. But they definitely processed. So they definitely are keeping most of their nutrients in that form. They have it in this. They also have it in gummies. My kids take the gummies every day. They love it. My kids are the pickiest things on the planet. But the gummies, they'll eat. So whatever they eat they won't eat a vegetable yet, but they'll eat some. But they'll definitely eat the gummies. So, we do what we got to do until we can move them forward to the next thing. I think so. But that's my thing about Juice Plus. So it helps you get all this, without all the work. Because it's a little bit time intensive if you don't have the time, So I love it. It's good for your family. It's good for you. And it helps you get the nutrients that you need. So this is my thing about collard greens. So I am going to get my glass. Another thing I love to, and I want to bring out to you, presentation. Presentation is important. If you ever go look on cooking shows, I do all the time. Presentation, if your eyes don't like what you see, it makes it harder for your stomach to. So make it something that appeals to the eyes too. So having me a nice cute glass when I am home. Sometimes I have my little take with me thing, but when I am home, I have my nice pretty wine glass, because I like wine glasses. And that is appealing to my eyes. I am going to take a little bit of this and add it to, this is like a tablespoon. So they tell, I'm going to do 1 tablespoon just for this. But it's recommended with the sea moss, you take a minimum of 1 to 2 a day. So I just took 1 today, right? And I kind of like mix it up. So it can get really good in there. And then put it down, and I'm going to add my juice. So this has actually, another good thing about this, it kind of has a strainer to it. Was it this way? This way. Okay. No, open spout. Close. I don't know. Sometimes I forget. Let me tell you. You're going to see how this works. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. It's probably true. So there you go. I'm pouring it in. See, that's why I like to do that, because sometimes you have the leftover fiber. Now, usually when you juice, it's not that you don't have no fiber. You have a little, you still have a little bit of the fiber in there, believe it or not, when you do it. But it's not for me. I'm not worried about the fiber. I just don't like the foam part of it. But we're going to make this quick. So we're just going to have some foam. But we're going to figure it out a little bit. Maybe that'll help with the foam. Okay. And we pour it in. Pour it in. Pour it in. Pour it in. Yeah. We're probably going to get this whole thing in there. Pretty much. And this is, you've been seeing my son Seth float around. You want to say hi, Seth?
Hi.
Okay, you gotta come this way so we can see. You want some juice?
Yes.
Want a little juice? All right, we're gonna give you a little juice too. I mixed that elderberry up in there, and I'm going to get a cup. It's not as much as my cup, but it's a cup. And there you go. You gonna drink it? Be careful. It's good. You want more? Want the rest? Here you go.
Yes.
All right. See? Even Seth like it. So that's what you do. Grease, collard greens, grape juice, and just in case you're wondering, well, she ain't drinking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. I really like that one. I really like that one. It's my first time doing college like that too. So I'm hooked because that was good. So that is our juicing day journey for today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining Seth for joining me. And do it. Get some collards. Juice them. Try something new. All right. Thanks, y'all. Goodbye.